Welcome to The Advocate. The Digital Tribe is live from Palacios, Texas, where the fight for our waterways continues. Let's get started.
I'm Richard Wolfe with Wolfe Digital Tribe, and as always, it's an honor to come to you live here in Palacios, Texas. And today I wanted to just do a brief segment on kind of answer some questions that anyone would have prior to delving into the municipality and really the county's governance and how they move and shape and familiarizing myself with the Texas Open Meetings Act. All of it can be so confusing, and it's so easy to get lost in the not only the bureaucratic mess and to just get straightforward questions. So for the past almost 3 years now, I have just delved into, like I said, the Texas Open Meetings Act and how municipality operates. It's very complex, actually. I would say it's probably, I guess maybe I wasn't familiarized with it. And, you're taught things about how of course, the three branches of government and how our legislative bodies work and operate and all those things. And even Congress, how they control the budget, and it's pretty at face value, it's pretty easy to navigate through that. Maybe it's through coming up and being taught that in school and maybe in college, but I think it's vastly important to know and familiarize yourself with your local municipality, its governance and how it operates, and what does the TIRZ mean to me? Not what does it mean to a developer, not what it means to our city council, but how does that apply to me? So personally, one of the things that helps me learn something, I grew up, with that said, we all have a drive, and we all have our set of limitations, but in understanding how our municipality works and kind of navigating through today, I'm going to discuss briefly the TIRZ, and I'm going to touch on the 80% tax ad valorem reimbursement and how that applies to you and how it applies to all of us. And also the tap fees. I kind of want to center in on that, and how will that what does that mean to me and my property and my life, and so with that said, it's kind of, if that made any sense, but with that said, I want to dive into that. And first and foremost, I want to thank everyone again for joining me today. I'm always honored and very grateful to be a part of this community. Sit tight and stay tuned after this upcoming message. We will continue. And now we return to the podcast on the TIRZ. Kind of how the TIRZ applies to you, and how we can better navigate through this or through any municipality, right? Ordinances and city charter and which the synergy workshops that we are launching this summer. I'm so excited about. We're going to be hosting various businesses here, and we're going to move outside of this area into the region. We'll be hosting workshops and various, we have 4 pillars of the Synergy campaign. Synergy workshops will be hosted by business owners where we can sit down and we can go over city governance and just kind of in layman's terms, how anyone can understand it, kind of break it down. And if anyone has any questions, of course, we'll have experts and various guest speakers and all that good stuff. So I'm very, very excited about that. And if you would like to partner with the Solutions Campaign, reach out to me. You can email me at info@wolfedigitaltribe.com. Again, that's info@wolfedigitaltribe.com. Recap. Let's talk about the community impulse or community pulse. Let's talk about a recap of what is what's going on right now, currently, and let's talk about the drainage. You may or may not know the $5 million citywide drainage project. Our match was only $50,000, but construction is hitting the home stretch this month. So hopefully we'll see some drainage improvements and those sort of things, which we've been advocating for, we've been pushing for, a lot of transparency and a lot of, and has the government responded? Has our local government responded? Well, they're never going to acknowledge a response, but maybe in a way they have. I'm not sure. Well, only time will tell. We definitely don't want to spin our wheels and just talk to or demand and request or blue in the face and all of our issues and all of our concerns be disregarded. So construction will hit this month, and if you've been dodging orange barrels on 12th Street, there's light at the end of the tunnel, so that's a good thing, right? Let's talk about public safety. The PPD climate survey is the talk of the town. Our tax dollars are spent on policing. So if you haven't filled it out, policing, excuse me, not policing, policing, Lord. So if you haven't filled it out, you're letting others speak for you. So remember that. And let's talk about the coast. We're looking at a $6.8 million coastal resiliency grant for the living shoreline. So that's a huge, massive. It's massive for our seawall. And the best part is our city matches nothing. So our city doesn't have to match zero from $6.8 million. And we will be following those funds very carefully with a zero match. That's an incredible deal. So good job for the city for working that out. And so the smart dad is at work as always. And so yeah, let's see something actually change and do something. So let's talk about the share. The TIRZ 1, and I'll break down. I was going to have some maps and so forth for everyone to see, but that didn't work out. But that's okay. Just follow along with me. So we're talking about the TIRZ Tax Reinvestment Zone, as well. Always we're talking about. I know you guys are probably sick of hearing that, but it's so important, and it's decisions that will be made for generations, and it locks in city council for those generations. And so people that aren't even born yet won't even have a voice in the decisions that are made today. And one of my pivotal one of the drives of my life is the next generation. What are we leaving as a legacy, and how will they have a voice? So that this is, that aligns with my core values. So let's talk about what it is. It's a 29-year agreement, and the city freezes the tax value of the zone. So as value goes up, that extra tax money, the incentives, or the increment rather, stays in the zone. So the tax rate, do I have I had a map. So this is kind of like our war room. I should say war room, but this is where it's all the black. This is where we map things out and kind of have our own synergy meetings and figure things out. So we come up with ideas and how we can think outside the box. I always want to think outside the box, be innovative and creative, right? And that falls in every area of my work. So let's talk about the 80% deal. So here's the part that people fired up, and it's gotten me fired up. For instance, the developer can receive up to, and as I've said this before, 80% of the ad valorem taxes and generated by the new growth to pay themselves back for the infrastructure. And even though...
Hey guys, this is Richard Wolfe with Wolfe Digital Tribe. Thank you so much for taking the time out to listen and just throw your ideas at us. And we very much look forward to the Synergy campaign. Like, subscribe, share. Until next time, Richard Wolfe checking out. PALACIOS Paradox, Monday. This Monday, be on the lookout for our new episode, premiering on the Wolfe Digital Tribe YouTube channel, right here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and click the link for more information. Richard Wolfe checking out.